Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. So according to the Mail online, Manchester United are still in contact with Aston Villa over Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is valued at around £75 million. Now it does say that we could let Sergio Romero and Diego Dalot join Aston Villa on loan, so obviously we can get Jack Grealish on the board. We won't want to get him without any swap deals involved because obviously we don't want to pay £75 million. Now Jack Grealish is one of our priority targets. Now I think last season Jack Grealish created the most chances in the Premier League and his stats were very, very impressive. Now, Jack Grealish can play as an attacking midfielder and he can also play as a winger. And he is only the age of 24, so he has still got a lot of development in him. And he is, of course, well proven in the Premier League. He's still got a few years left on his current contract with Villa. He's under contract with them until 2023. And I think he's on around £65,000 a week on his current deal. But up until this point, Jack Grealish has spent the entirety of his playing career with Aston Villa. He has been a Villa player since the age of 6. And he has been in their senior squad since 2014. And I think he has played over 100 games for Aston Villa. Now, don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, it said that Grealish was in Greece doing training sessions, and it said he was set to hold talks with Christian Purslow, who is the Aston Villa chief executive, regarding his future. So I do presume now he has held them talks. Now, there's still a possibility chance that Grealish could remain at Aston Villa for this season, because Aston Villa did avoid relegation. Now, if Aston Villa would have got relegated, then I would have fully assured that Jack Grealish would have left them. Now, don't forget, back in March, he had that incident with his £80,000 Range Rover. I think he actually crashed his Range Rover into like 3 parked cars. This had happened just hours before he urged people to stay at home. But reflect on that incident anyway, it put Jack Grealish's move to Manchester United in doubt. Now, back in the summer of 2018, Tottenham were very, very close to signing him. Also, too, Man City have been in for him. Now, last season, I think the first part of last season we confirmed that Jack Grealish was our preference over James Maddison, because don't forget, at one point we was in for James Maddison. But obviously Grealish is actually a cheaper solution than Maddison. Some people even think he's a better player than James Maddison. But yeah, so that is the breaking news on him. Now, I want to give you the news on Paul Pogba. So, recently, Paul Pogba has been tested positive for coronavirus. So, reflecting on this, he has been withdrawn from the France squad. Also, to Tanguy Ndombele, he's been tested for coronavirus. Now, I think Paul Pogba will remain at Manchester United this season. Obviously, we want to get him a new long-term contract at the football club to end the uncertainty regarding his future. Now, Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, recently confirmed that Pogba is staying at Manchester United, and he said he will hold talks over a new contract. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Now, obviously, a few weeks before last season finished, it said that Paul Pogba was close to signing a 5-year contract with Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano came out, and he was a very reliable Italian journalist. He said that Paul Pogba's happy at Manchester United, and he said he wants to stay at Manchester United, and we will end the negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola over getting him a new contract. Now, for the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because obviously he was out with that ankle injury. Pogba has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. He recently celebrated his 4-year anniversary at the football club. But I thought towards the end of last season, Paul Pogba was absolutely exceptional. And I thought his combination with Bruno Fernandes was fantastic. And I thought he did well in some of our Europa League games. But as it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we did pay £89 million for him. Around this time last year, Pogba had come out and made an admission saying that, he wants to leave Manchester United because he said he was seeking for a new challenge. Don't forget Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with him because Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid at one point. There was narratives about him possibly going back to Juventus because Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan were in for him before. But earlier on this year, we was very, very critical of Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, because earlier on this year, Mini Raiola publicly criticised Solskjaer and Manchester United. And at least in the last couple of years, Mini Raiola has been in the process of trying to get Paul Pogba's transfer away from Man United completed. So far, Paul Pogba's won 2 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. Obviously, we had Pogba when he was a lot younger, under the Alex Ferguson era, but obviously, we had to let him go due to limited appearances. So that is the news on him anyway. He has tested positive for coronavirus. First Manchester United player to get tested positive for coronavirus. Now, I want to talk with you about Ed Woodward and the Glazers. Now, obviously, Manchester United have been very, very critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years. Now, there's these explanations behind it, because our recruitment has been poor for several years. Obviously, Ed Woodward has sacked 3 managers at Manchester United. Obviously, we got rid of David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And I just don't think Woodward and the Glazers are backing Solskjaer enough in this summer transfer window. But there is a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding them out. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. And, Woodward said, he's determined to back Solskjaer, and he also said at the last season a few times that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. Even when went through that bad period, when we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, and the Glazers said, they're determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer's actually done nothing wrong really. He's actually progressing because he's actually publicly come out and admitted as Solskjaer that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. Obviously, there's teams around us that are recruiting very, very well, and that is an element of concern. You've got Chelsea, they've done very, very good business so far. They've got Hakim Ziyech back in February for around 37-38 million. They got Timo Werner from Leipzig for around £48 million. They're going to get Thiago Silva on a free. I think they've got Ben Chilwell for around £50 million. I think they're also closing in on Kai Havertz. You've got Liverpool, they're closing in on Thiago, and they recently signed Tisikmas from Olympiacos for around £13 million. Man City, they signed Ferran Torres from Valencia for around £27 million, and they signed Nathan Ake from Bournemouth for £41 million. Arsenal, they recently signed Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille for around £27 million. They also got Willian on a free. You've got Tottenham, they recently signed Holberg from Southampton, and they got Joe Hart on A3. So we've got to hurry up and make signings in this summer transfer window, because this summer transfer window has been open now over 4 weeks and we have not yet made any signings. But obviously we know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to improve the squad. And, like I've said to you, we've overpaid for players in recent years as well. This is probably another one of the reasons why we're critical of Woodward and the Glazers. We paid £89 million for Pogba. We paid £75 million for Lukaku. We paid £50 million for Fred. We paid £40 million for Matic. £80 million for Harry Maguire. So, yeah. And don't forget, earlier on this year, our fans, went and attacked. Well, some of our fans went and attacked Ed Woodward's mansion. We was that infuriated. But I just think we've made a lot of bad decisions in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. And I think a lot of the players we have brought in the last 7 years have not been the right calibre players for Manchester United. I also think on the other side of things, though, there's players that we've brought in who we shouldn't have got rid of. We shouldn't have got rid of Lukaku. We shouldn't have got rid of Ander Herrera. Some United fans will say we shouldn't have even got rid of Angel Di Maria. I think there's also some players we've given contracts to who we shouldn't have given contracts to. You know what I'm saying? So, there you go. But there has obviously been a lot of players on our agenda. Obviously, we're still looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board. Obviously, Jadon Sancho believes his transfer to Manchester United will still happen. And it could be now or never. So if we don't sign him in this summer transfer window, then Jadon Sancho may never ever become a Manchester United player. But throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Because Dortmund have said that they want over £100 million and we are not determined to meet their valuation. I think we said we're only willing to pay like 60 or £70 million up front. But I think Sancho said quite a few times, look, he would like to come to Manchester United. And I've outlined the reasons why I'd like him to come to Manchester United. But it did recently look like Jadon Sancho to Manchester United in this summer transfer window was dead in the water. But it does recently say that Sancho has actually agreed personal terms with us. And it says he has agreed a 5-year contract with a football club worth around 340 grand a week. That will obviously make him one of the highest paid players at Man United. Fabrizio Romano, he said around 3 weeks ago that Sancho's agreed personal terms with Man United, and he said negotiations between Man United and Dortmund were at an advanced stage and all of that. Obviously, the Borussia Dortmund CEO, sporting director, said the other week that Sancho is staying at Dortmund and the decision is final. But this Jadon Sancho transfer saga will probably go on for the entirety of this summer transfer window. It really, really will. But he is our number one priority target. We're obviously looking at quite a few alternatives now to Sancho, because I will make an admission, there is much cheaper solutions than him. We've been looking at David Brooks from Bournemouth. We've also been looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich. Obviously, I give you the news on Donny van der Beek a few days ago as well. He's another player on our agenda. Reportedly now he wants to make a move to the Premier League. So there's been so many players on our agenda, but I think Solskjaer has said he wants Manchester United to make around 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And I think Woodward has said he wants Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings in this summer transfer window. But I'm actually not unsure what our transfer budget is. I think it did say at the end of last season we have got around £140 million to spend. And Solskjaer's obviously already instructed our board to go and get his preferred targets. And he wants us, to spend a substantial amount in this summer transfer window. But, at the moment, there's only around 12 or 13 players that Solskjaer can rely on in the squad. And like I've said in my recent videos, I think Solskjaer at this moment in time is in a similar situation to what Jose Mourinho was in. Because obviously Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Man United. Obviously, he did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season and got a second in his first season, to be fair. Obviously, he recommended around 11 players in. But in the summer of 2018, Mourinho didn't get the players that he wanted in. Obviously, he wanted his top priority was to get a centre-half in, and he didn't get that centre-half in, and that was one of the main explanations why he got sacked. The other reason why he got sacked is because he had bad disputes with our top players and also to the board. But there's still plenty of time yet. You know, this summer transfer window is open until October. You know, but so far the football club, Solskjaer, has spent just over £200 million. Obviously, you know, last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he bought Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. Well, he bought Odion Ighalo on loan, and he's also brought a few academy players in as Solskjaer. But Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now around, is it 19 and a half months. So he has been here now for quite some time. Obviously, this season is the big test for Solskjaer, because obviously this season is going to be his second full season at the club, and he knows this season that he will have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, and the other expectation will be to win a trophy, because we've not won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer, and we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time that's happened in like 31 years. You know, in the last 7 years, we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson's retirement, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. But in the entirety of our history, we've won 45 trophies, but obviously 38 of them trophies came under Alex Ferguson. Obviously, you know, all our success came under Ferguson. You know, Ferguson endured 20-odd years at Manchester United. Was it around 26, 27 years? Obviously, didn't win out though in his first 4 years at the football club, did he? Don't forget. So he did not settle in straight away. You know, but I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United or any manager in general to replicate Ferguson's legacy and to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. But like I've said to you, I don't know if Solskjaer's the right manager. You know, we'll probably find out this season if he is the right manager. We will find out. But like I said to you, you know, it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. And like I've said to you, Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £700 million. Because obviously, you know, Mourinho spent around £400 million at the club when he was here. Louis van Gaal, he spent just over £200 million in his 2 years at Man United, and he brought around 16 players in. I think Moyes, when he was at the club, he spent around £67 million on 2 players, and there's still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So he's inheriting them players, don't forget. Obviously, last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club. And I give you a review on it recently. I think he did quite well in his first full season. Obviously exceeded most of his expectations. Got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say, didn't I, how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. We also finished third, and we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final, and the EFL Cup semi-final. You know, but at the first part of last season, you wouldn't have thought he'd have exceeded any expectations, Solskjaer. But big decisions have got to be made in this summer transfer window of obviously what players we're going to recommend in and what players we are going to get rid of. Now, obviously, you know, we've got a good idea what players we're going to get rid of anyway. I think we could get rid of up to 10 players in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira, you know, Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Delors. There are other players we're looking to get rid of. Some United fans will say we need to sell Bay. Some United fans will say we need to sell Lindelof. Obviously, like I said, Romero's open to leaving Man United. We're also going to loan a few players out. Dylan Levitt and James Garner and Joe Pereira. They're going to be going out on loan. They're going to be going out on loan. So, yeah. So he's going to get rid of more of the deadwood at the football club. But like I said to you, it has been a frustrating summer transfer window for Manchester United at the moment. Obviously, with this Jadon Sancho transfer saga and, the Harry Maguire incident. Don't forget, Harry Maguire recently got a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days after his trial in Greece. And he was found guilty for attempted bribery, repeated bodily harm, public violence against employers, and something else as well. I think a retrial, by the way, has been accepted, like I mentioned yesterday, but that could take up to several months, or it could even take up to a year. It did say, actually, before the trial that Harry Maguire could have paid around £90,000 to avoid going to jail for 3 years. But yeah, he did get arrested, did Harry Maguire, for obviously attacking police, and obviously, 2 other men were arrested, but Harry Maguire's sister had actually, been stabbed. But as you all know, Harry Maguire has been withdrawn from the England squad, obviously reflecting on that incident. But Harry Maguire will keep the captain's armband at Manchester United. Some United fans will be happy about this, and maybe some United fans won't be. I'm not particularly happy with it because I think, we should give the captaincy to either Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba, because they are the ones that show fantastic leadership in the team. But there again, Harry Maguire's only enjoyed 1 season so far at Man United. This season will be his 2nd season at the football club. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million last summer from Leicester. So Harry Maguire is the second most expensive signing at the club, just behind Paul Pogba, and he is the most expensive centre-half in the world. We definitely overpaid for him. £80 million was a lot. But yeah, we would definitely won't sell Harry Maguire. Solskjaer needs to put Dean Henderson as number 1 for this season. We had the good news regarding Dean Henderson yesterday, because it had confirmed that Dean Henderson has signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United worth around 120 grand a week, and there's also an option of a further year. So that's good news from a Manchester United perspective. But I think now Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our number 1, because he has now got that experience behind him. He's got that experience behind him because he did enjoy 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And he was Sheffield United's player of the season. He's had quite a few loan spells. He had loan spell at Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We obviously got Dean Henderson in 2011 from Carlisle at just the age of 14. So Dean Henderson's been part of the club for several years. Solskjaer did recently say, though, that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become Man United's number 1 goalkeeper. And he said he was looking at loaning him out again for this season. He said he wants David De Gea to remain our number 1 for at least this season. Obviously, on my video this morning, I give you the breaking news on Wan-Bissaka, didn't I? He may miss the start of pre-season training because he recently travelled to Dubai. Now he's got to self-isolate for 14 days. This season will be Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season at Man United. I thought he was very, very good in his 1st season at the club. But towards the back end of the season, last season, though, he did look a bit fatigued and did look a bit off the pace. We got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. You already know the news on Benoit Badiashile from Monaco. We've just recently had a £22 million bid turned down for him from Monaco. And Mohamed Bouhafsi has confirmed this. He's obviously left-footed centre-half. But don't get me wrong, I have definitely seen improvements under Solskjaer, like I've said before. I think you got to say our recruitment's improved under him. He has brought some good players in so far. Obviously, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood Solskjaer since he got recommended into the club. I think, there's certain players that have definitely improved, but there is still improvements needed at Manchester United. I still think there's aspects of our game that I've got to improve. There's still certain players that I've got to step up to the plate. Solskjaer's decision making has also got to improve. But you know, we are unbeaten in the league since January. We are unbeaten in our last 14 league games, don't forget. And we did also go on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final. The good news is as well, we've extended a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer came in. And we've still got around 6 or 7 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. We've also got a lot of good young players coming through as well. You know, Greenwood did very, very well in his first season in senior squad last season. You know, Greenwood was getting starts towards the end of last season. Brandon Williams enjoyed a fantastic season last season, played a lot of games. You know, we've got there's young players that have just recently been promoted into the senior squad, and that was Ethan Laird and Ethan Galbraith. You know, so we have got a lot of good young players. And I thought last season Solskjaer promoted the youth very, very well. He really, really did. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.